Hello everyone and welcome. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm Ahmed. I am Solution Development Manager at Komtas. My main responsibilities are data and analytics domain at Komtas. So at today's meeting presentation, I will introduce our company, Komtas, to you, audiences. Later, I will talk about a use case that we had delivered recently in Turkey, Beymen.com, who is a fashion retailer, and it's also owned by a Qatar company called Mayhola Investments. So it's a half Turkish, half Qatar Doha company, Qatar. And I will talk about that use case. Later on, I will also have time to emphasize other industries who had used streaming analytics in this domain. So Komtas is a data analytics company which was established almost 30 years ago. Our main business is data analytics since from the beginning. And data analytics is the core of our digital transformation. So we are the largest ecosystem in data analytics in Turkey. We have lots of people who are responsible for delivering this kind of projects, and the last number is over 250. And we had accomplished a lot of projects in Turkey and in the countries that are around Turkey. So Komtas is an ecosystem. What do we mean with ecosystem? It means that we have center of excellences, which they have own names, they have their own teams. For example, in data management domain, we have Damalink. They have competencies in data assessment, data governance, GDPR, data quality, this kind of data management projects. And there are about 40 consultants in that center of excellence. And we have Digital&C. They have competency in developing a data warehouse, assessing a data warehouse, migrating a data warehouse, developing a data warehouse from scratch. And they are very good at developing this kind of projects. And all the teams here, I should mention that they have skills to develop these projects in different technologies. They are not stuck in one technology. They can do it. And nowadays, and recently, they have been developing projects in Google Cloud, and they also have skills in other technologies as well. And we have data science company, data science and AI company. It's a center of excellence. This is a team of data scientists, actually. Once the digital team had brought the data from data sources into data warehouse, these teams takes the action and they develop machine learning and data science projects on top of the data that came to data warehouses. So we have BI technology as well. They are the partner. They are the distributor, acts like the distributor in Turkey, ClickSense distributor. And last, we have Data Science Academy. Data Science Academy delivers trainings in Turkey, technical trainings in different technologies. And Data Science Academy is the unique certified Google Cloud trainer in Turkey. And we are already delivering Google Cloud trainings in Turkey. And of course, I need to mention the technologies we are using in Turkey. Informatica, it's an ETL tool. We have been working with them for a long time. Like Teradata is one of the best data on-premise data warehouses in the world. And Google Cloud, we are partnering with Google Cloud in data and analytics domain. Looker is the BI tool of Google Cloud. We already have some projects at that site. Qlik is again a BI tool. DataIQ is a data science workbench, and you can develop machine learning models, analytic models. You can run your analytic operations with DataIQ. Cruster is general for managing for manufacturing industry that we use to get IoT data from the fields from different manufacturing lines. And Starburst is again a powerful query engine. You can think of it as BigQuery, but working on premise. They have similar architecture, technical architecture, but this time Starburst, we offer them to customers who want to have an open source minded query engine, data warehouse engine on their premises. Cloudera, we have been partnering with Cloudera for a very long time. We had delivered many projects. We have consultants in Cloudera side. And the last one, Elasticsearch is a powerful full-text search engine that you can also, or you can use on premises or on Google cloud systems like Google. So having been in the business for 30 years, of course, we have a lot of references. As I said, this is the largest data analytic consultancy, local consultancy company in Turkey. So having been in the business for 30 years, we have a lot of references, financial services, insurance and health, retail and manufacturing. We can say that the leading companies, really the leading companies in Turkey are our customers. For other industries, telco and media, there are three big telco companies in Turkey, and all of them are our customers. And for recently, of course, we have e-commerce references and travel and transportation, and we have large footprints in public sector industry too. At Google side, we have been partnering with Google almost for 2 years. We have references in manufacturing industry, media industry, retail industry. For the finance and banking industry, they are not allowed to move data to cloud yet in Turkey. So we are doing business in other industries in Turkey. So let's come to today's main topic. It is real-time analytics. So what is real-time analytics? Let me start with that. Real-time analytics is ingesting, processing, and analyzing events streams in real time, so that you identify and take actions on real-time insights. So what is event streams? Event streams might be the IoT data coming from the manufacturing lines. It might be your customer interactions or web clicks that are coming from the website. So for real-time insight, you need to receive data as it is produced and react to that immediately. For example, let's say a potential customer send SMS to a bank and ask for a loan. That bank should receive that SMS message instantly and evaluate that message and should decide whether to give credit to bank immediately. So there is a lot of analytics behind, because there are machine models to working behind whether to give that loan to customer or not. So as you see on this graph, there are some data types, and when you go to the right, the refreshness of the data changes. For example, for real-time insights, you need sub-second data. Again, it's the same for operation insight, but for performance insight or strategic insight, you don't need that refresh to the seconds data. For example, you don't need, for the sales informations, you don't need the up to the second data. And as I said, the important thing about the real time is that you have to gather the data, you have to collect the data immediately and respond to it very fast. So why are we talking about real data? As Mr. Chowki, Dr. Chowki said in his presentations, the data is growing. It will be 180 petabytes in 2025. As of today, about 15% of the whole data produced is streaming data, real-time data. But by 2025, it will be 25%, which makes about 50 zettabytes. So why is it growing so much? Don't think streaming analytics or streaming data is for some fancy startups or technology companies. It is already valid, and there are already use cases for streaming analytics in traditional companies like a grocery retail. A grocery retail can use streaming analytics to shelf replenishment or in-store recommendation to customers. So it is not a requirement for high-tech companies, but it is also becoming a requirement, a business development area for the traditional companies as well. And So if you need to ability to understand what's happening in your business right now, or if you need to find a way to automate a business process to take action faster, you need to use streaming data. So how can we develop streaming analytics? First of all, if you want to have a streaming system, streaming analytics system, you must have a redundant, robust infrastructure. Because it should that you need very high level of SLAs, for example, 99.9, which means just 2 hours of downtime in a year. If you want to build this kind of systems on your data center, you have to invest a lot. You have to buy a lot of hardware. You must have very redundant systems. But if you set up this kind of advanced streaming analytics systems on a cloud vendor like Google Cloud is taking care of all those redundant infrastructure systems. And Google Cloud has the necessary services that you can build these services like BigQuery, like Dataflow or PubSub, and they are all fail-safe systems that we had used all of them in our projects, in our reference projects that we will explain later. So the use case. This is the client that we had worked recently with. Bayman.com is a well-known online fashion retailer. They have 1 million active customers, and about 60,000 of them are logging on and visiting the website regularly. Actually, this is a luxury brand that have been operating in Turkey for 50 years. It's a well-known brand, and they have this Bayman.com for more than 10 years. So what is their business? That of course they are selling their luxury brand in fashions, and they are recommended 5,000 products to each visitor. So this is their power. This is their own the core of their business. And before we had moved them to Google Cloud system, they have been running this recommendation engine once a week, which was not enough at that time. So what is the challenge? As I said, this is a brand that is known with luxury, but one day they decided to become a marketplace like eBay, a marketplace like Amazon, you know. So which means that they start selling a lot of products, not only fashion style, but cosmetics, technology, you know, gardening, a lot of products. So a lot of sellers, a lot more visitors, and a lot more data to analyze. And at that time, their analytic environment, which is running on-premise, was not enough to process all this data. So they had to make new investments. And they also had difficult to meet the SLAs. For example, running a recommendation engine was taking 20 hours to finish, and it was just happening at weekends, not in daytimes. So maintaining this infrastructure was becoming more expensive for them. What we had offered to them is that we told them to migrate their analytic environment to Google Cloud. So on the right side, you'll see the services that I had mentioned. I will talk about them later again. So they are collecting this click-stream data with PubSub. PubSub is event messaging system of Google Cloud. It's a publisher and subscription system. All the clicks are collected here. And we have data flow service, Google Cloud's data flow service, which listens to PubSub, gets the data, and loads it into Google Cloud Storage or BigQuery. And of course, we also need to get customer data from the current data warehouse. Again, we use Dataflow for it. And all the data is loaded into BigQuery. BigQuery is a serverless managed data warehouse system of Google Cloud. And it's a very powerful system, query engine. And all the data is loaded onto BigQuery. Now, Vertex AI is one of the powerful services that I should mention at this point, where we used Vertex AI to create data pipelines which works serially, and also used Vertex AI to create some models. By the way, the Bayman.com has really clever data scientists. Their algorithm was running very successful. There was no problem with that. The problem was the model was being trained on stale data, 1 week old data, which means that if I buy black trousers today, and if I visit Bayman.com tomorrow again, it is like that it is recommending black trousers to me again. But with Google Cloud Analytic Engine, Google Cloud Systems, the recommendation engine works a few times a day, or 5 times, 6 times, whatever they want. So that when I buy black trousers, the same item is not recommended to me. This was basic benefit of the system. So what are the other benefits? For example, again, the whole data processing is not lasting 20 hours. It is lasting 1 hour. And as you know, all the services here are auto-scale. They are all auto-scale, which means that if today there are 3 million visits, and in November, for example, on Black Friday day, if there are, let's say, 10 million visitors, the pub subsystem will scale automatically. And this scaling, auto-scale, is again valid for data flow and valid for BigQuery as well. So this is maybe the basic benefit of the system. If they were using the system on their infrastructure, on-premise infrastructure, and on days like Black Friday, they would be struggling. And we finished this project just 2 months ago, and the next November will be a very good stress test for this company to see the benefits of moving to Google Cloud. And so, as I said, now the system is working with most recent data, and it's a scale environment, and they are making better offers to their customers right now. And of course, it is again, one of the benefits, and an important benefit that I should mention is that they can predict the infrastructure cost. They know that when the number of visitors if the number of visitors increase, they know how much they need to spend to analyze all this data. This is again an important benefit. So using the same technologies, data service, these analytics technologies, we also deliver similar projects in Turkey. This was an online retailer. To give an example, these are not our references, but I put this slide to show you what might be the other potential streaming analytic use cases in different industries. For example, for healthcare, we have you can build real-time patient monitoring or personalized care with IoT medical devices. For financial services, you can detect and prevent fraud. That's an important case. Or you can decide which customers to give how much credit type of. And for retail, you can run real-time personalized marketing, the dynamic product pricing and recommendations. For telco, you can use streaming analytics to improve network reliability. You can minimize customer churn. And for manufacturing, I will talk about the sample in a few minutes. You can use it in real-time inventory management or predictive maintenance. So what we had delivered for other industries, there is a very big glass manufacturing company in Turkey. We created digital twins for this company. It has factories. It has 3 factories in Turkey and some more in the countries other than in Turkey. We created digital twins for this company. What is digital twin? Digital twin is the visual representation of a physical device. In this scenario, we read real-time sensor data from operational devices, extract data from legacy systems, load data from manual labor systems, collect market price, weather data, and we we use the same set of, almost the same set of services that we use with Bayman.com. We use PubSub, we use Dataflow, we use BigQuery, the same technology, but with different approach, and with different user scenarios. And at the end of the project, we generate real-time management reports and almost real-time management reports, and we provide the operational management, the parameters, which parameters should they set for a specific manufacturing line, because they are producing glass, and it's a very, first they prepare a very hot mixture, a chemical mixture, and that production line shouldn't stop. If the production line stops, it has a big cost for them. So with these data, we generated insights. The system recommends the operational management when to fix or when to maintain which machine before it breaks down by itself. So that they stop the manufacturing line, they do the maintenance and continue. This saves them a lot of money. Now the plan is that we are developing the same digital twins for other companies, for other factories in other countries, which belong to the same company. The second sample case is that this is a utilities electricity distributor in Turkey. We are reading consumption from smart electricity meters, and we are deducting usage patterns. We are making time series analysis and trying to find the fraud cases that might happen. This is again the same set of services, the analytics services that we had used. The second project we had developed is that this has nothing to do with actually streaming analytics, but I had to put it here because it's really interesting. Turkey is a very large country. There are cities, villages, which is far away from the center. So it is difficult to someone, a sales, a field person, to go to kilometers, hundreds of kilometers and measure that meter. So this company is trying to find the end users, take photos of their meters, whether it's a modern one, whether it's a digital one, whether it's an analog one, doesn't matter. Then end user consumers sends that picture to Google Cloud Storage, and using some algorithms, it might be, we tried both of them, by the way. We use Vision API, we used TensorFlow, an open source library TensorFlow, and try to understand from the pictures that how much this end user consumed in that period. If you are using Google Cloud, if you are developing this kind of analytic projects in Google Cloud, there are a lot of APIs and there are a lot of tools ready for you. But Google Cloud doesn't always push you to use their own services. They don't push you. You might be using, for example, for this use case, you can use Vision API, which is a very powerful service. Besides, you can also use TensorFlow, which can be deployed on Google Cloud Vertex AI. And, or in our streaming analytic use case, you don't have to use PubSub as messaging service all the time. You can use Kafka, and you can use Dataflow to read data from Kafka. Or you might be using PubSub, and later to analyze data, to collect the data, you might be using any other open source Spark or Flink. So Google Cloud is fully flexible on that. With these last references, I hope you enjoyed what I explained. And any questions so far?
Thank you, Thank you, Mehmet.
Thank you.
So, any questions?
Thanks.
You can stay.
Okay.
Questions? So, any questions for Mehmet? Okay, please, the microphone.
Sorry.
During your session, you mentioned that Turkish is not allowing the
for
data.
Financial and banking industry, the GDPR rules are very strict. So these companies are not allowed to load data in the cloud. But for manufacturing, for retail, or e-commerce. As long as you don't load, very private sensitive information, we can upload any data to Google Cloud. That's the difference in the market.
Other questions? Thank you again.
Okay, thank
you,
you.
Mehmet, for this insightful demonstration.